Ever scroll through online listings and think, man, some of these photos, yeah, we've all been there. But what if there was an AI sidekick to make your e-commerce images really pop? That's where Refleta comes in. Today, we're diving deep into this AI tool that promises to not just enhance product photos, but generate descriptions and basically make those sales skyrocket. Let's unpack this thing.
Okay. So at its core, Refleta is like a two-pronged approach, right? You've got the AI image enhancement and then this whole AI-generated product description side. And it's not, just throwing a filter on or spitting out generic text. We're talking about making those product photos seriously eye-catching and descriptions that actually, well, sound like your brand.
Okay, now we're talking. They use this phrase on their site, contextual product placement. And I got to be honest, I got a little hung up on that. I mean, how can AI get context? That seems like a very human thing to grasp.
Yeah, it's wild, right? They're using computer vision and get this, neural networks. It's like they've shown this AI millions upon millions of images so it learns what makes a product photo really work.
Hold on, so it's like having a whole team of like pro photographers analyzing your stuff.
Exactly. Think composition, lighting, even the background, all geared to make your product shine. And this is a big one, they don't touch your original files. They create these enhanced versions so you're safe.
Okay, that's huge for anyone freaking out about losing their originals. Now, they keep saying backed by science. And while I love a good lab coat, is this legit research or just marketing buzz?
Right, got to be cautious. But they do actually cite some solid research. Studies show that, and this is cool, how an image looks directly affects if people will buy that thing online. Like how bright it is, how vibrant the colors are, even the whole composition, it all matters.
So we're not just talking about like an Instagram filter here. There's actual science behind making an image that converts to sales. What kind of impact are we talking, realistically?
Honestly, the studies suggest it's pretty significant. Like one thing they found is that brighter images, those with higher exposure, they actually tend to outperform darker ones when it comes to, people actually clicking and buying.
Makes sense. I mean, who wants to buy something that looks kind of dingy in the photo?
Exactly. And it goes beyond just brightness, right? It's the colors they use, how the whole image is put together, even just like what's in the background of the shot. All those little things can actually influence whether someone's like, yep, add to cart.
So it's almost like staging your product in a way,
hmm
but visually. And this ties into what they were saying about different approaches for different types of products, right?
Totally. Like, think about it. A hot new fashion item. You might want those bold colors, that eye-catching composition. But something like, say, a sleek new gadget, that might do better with a cleaner, more minimalist look.
Yeah, it's like you wouldn't wear a ball gown to a job interview.
Mm.
Got to dress for the occasion. Speaking of which, when it comes to these enhancements, how much say do you have? Is it all AI knows best, or can you, like, give it some direction?
It's actually a cool mix of both. You have some control, so you can guide the AI based on, what you like, your brand style, that kind of thing.
So it's like having a back and forth with a designer, but your design buddy is like this AI brain. What are some of the ways you could steer it?
So there's this thing called, and it's a mouthful, contextual product placement.
hmm
Basically, the AI looks at the image and it's like, this would look even better here. It might even recommend backgrounds and stuff.
Oh, that's neat. Like if you're selling a cozy sweater, it might suggest a background with a fireplace. Really sell that vibe.
Exactly. And then there's this multi-angle view thing, which is huge because, let's be real, online shoppers, they can't pick up the product, right? So
Yeah.
showing it from different angles, that helps a ton.
It's all about recreating that in-store experience as much as you can online. Now, we've talked images, but what about the other half of this whole Refleta thing? They seem pretty confident about their product descriptions.
Yeah, and this is where it gets really interesting. They've designed their whole description generation specifically for e-commerce, which is smart. It's not just about, making sure your commas are in the right place.
Okay, so what makes it different from like just using any old AI writing tool?
They train it on a massive amount of data, but here's the key. It's all successful product descriptions from actual e-commerce sites.
So it's like their AI has learned from the best, picking up what works to actually sell stuff online.
Exactly. Think about it. It's like having access to like the combined knowledge of thousands of businesses all distilled down into this AI that can just crank out descriptions.
So not just, grammatically correct, but like descriptions that actually sell. Like
Yeah.
that's huge for anyone who's ever blanked on how to make their product sound amazing online.
Yeah.
But does this AI get that? Like every brand has its own vibe, its own style.
That's actually one of the coolest things about how Refleta does this. You can adjust the AI's writing style to match your brand, So if you're all playful and fun or like super sleek and professional, it can adapt.
That's key, right? You don't want your descriptions sounding like a robot wrote them. Got
Yep.
to have that authenticity.
100%. And get this, they say it even bakes in SEO best practices. So your products are more likely to actually show up in searches. Talk about a win-win.
Okay, so we're talking compelling descriptions, on-brand messaging, and SEO. It almost sounds too good to be true. So let's address the elephant in the room. What about relying so much on AI? Any downsides to watch out for?
Yeah, I mean, it's a fair question. Like any tool, AI has its limits. While Refleta seems really promising, it's not magic, right? Human oversight is still important, especially when it comes to your brand and making sure everything makes sense for your strategy.
So you're saying it's not like set it and forget it.
Exactly. Think of it more like a superpowered assistant, not a replacement for, your own thinking. You still got to know your brand, your audience, and give the AI some direction.
Makes sense. It's like you wouldn't hire a copywriter and then just like never
Mm.
tell them what you're about.
Right. And remember, AI is only as good as the data it learns from. Refleta seems to use good stuff, but it's still smart to keep an eye on what it's doing, maybe tweak things here and there.
So not a magic bullet, but potentially a total game changer, especially for businesses that maybe don't have a huge team or tons of time to test everything. It's like Refleta could level the playing field a bit.
For sure. It's a wild time for e-commerce, right? AI is changing the game so fast. And tools like this, they could be the key to unlocking a whole new level of success.
So for everyone listening, the question is, could Refleta be that missing piece for you? If you're looking to up your photo game, create descriptions that sing, and just generally crush it online, it might be worth checking out. And as always, the key is to stay curious, keep learning, and find what works for you. Thanks for diving deep with us. Until next time.